Good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, June 22nd, the second day of summer, and it's going to feel like summer today. High around 94. Right now, we're at a cool start of 67 degrees. I'm Steve Kime. Thanks for joining us, and I have a special co-host today.
Good morning.
Good morning. And you going to say your name, or you think everybody knows who you are?
No, my name is Tammy Wilson, and I am the Ward 5 City Commissioner.
Thank you for co-hosting today. Thank you for joining us. We're coming to you to 14,000 homes here in the Enid area through cable and also live streaming around the globe. This is Good Morning Enid, and it's time to rise and shine. Out on the farm, it's wide open space, it's clear, and you see all the bright.
Oklahoma receives a real ID extension through June 2017.
You're in your 30s or your 40s, for example. You'll just want to show up at 4:30, but we do encourage you to purchase a
A ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down.
Just send us an email, and we'll be happy to share.
Hello.
Hey, Derek. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
It's Thursday again. You know what that means?
Yes, sir.
It's time to rise and shine.
I'm on my way.
Good morning, Jamara.
Good morning. I'm on my way.
Good morning, Kevin.
I'm on my way.
Kevin. And that's Kevin for you. He's not a early riser. So you love mornings, don't you?
Love them.
Well, it is time to rise and shine. It's 7:31. Thank you for joining us. I believe this is show number 126. It's amazing how quick this goes. Well, as I mentioned, summer, second day of summer, high today, 94. Let's look at the statewide temps in case that you're planning a trip across the state today. Jump in your car and go to Blue Jacket up in the northeastern part of the state. You can see right now it's at 68 degrees, but all the way down in the southeastern part of the state, in Glover is 72. So again, summer has arrived. Upper 60s across the state today, currently, but in the mid 90s across the state as well. The 3-day forecast, Tammy's going to help us with that. I know there's some events, there's always events going on in Enid, but one big one that's close to you is the...
Yeah, this is the weekend for the Shakespeare in the Park. And it's the 23rd through the 25th at Government Springs at 8 p.m. nightly, and it's free.
Have you kept track of how many years? Do we know?
It's probably in the 25-year-ish range, because I did the last theater in the park before they started doing Shakespeare in 1993.
Wow.
So they started doing Shakespeare after that.
Oh. Well, speaking of Shakespeare in the Park, let's look at the 3-day forecast, and Tammy has that for us today. So the next 3 days look like summer?
Yeah, not too bad. The low tomorrow is 61 with a high of 86. Saturday is a low of 63 with a high of 83. And Sunday is a low of 61 and a high of 81. So those are all really actually pleasant summer days.
Because they could actually be 101.
Yeah, 100
I don't
could
think
be
we've
way
reached
higher.
100 yet, but boy, we pushed it a couple times.
Been close at least.
Give me a week of summer, then I'm ready for fall. The older I get, the closer to fall weather I like. Tell us, Commissioner, about the budget process. It's seen each year, and you've gone through this process numerous times, and it's 6 times, and each time has a different flavor.
Yes.
And how would you describe the budget process this year?
This year it was pretty easy, I think, and it kind of goes back and forth. It depends, because when the commission changes, it's always different, because everybody has different ideas and priorities about how things should be. So you have to adjust to everybody's different views of how the budget should be spent. But that's the commission's biggest job, is to figure out the city budget every year. And so usually right after we have some new people, it kind of goes either way. Sometimes it's really hard, or sometimes it's really easy, and then it changes every year, because as the more people get really involved in it and know more about it, then it gets a lot more, sometimes it gets more complicated. You never know what it's going to be from one year to the next.
Sure.
Some years it's really an arduous, complicated process, and some years it's not as bad, and it just kind of depends on...
Yeah. And the staff is aware of that, because they realize that you have limited funds to work with. And so we do our part to either reduce budgets or try to do more with less all the time, because we realize that dollar does not go as far as it did last year.
That's true.
You know, and it really changes. So, well, again, thank you for joining us today on Good Morning Enid at 7:34. And To find out what happened with the news and sports and everything that happened overnight, it's time for the bow tie guy, and that's Derek Silas with the Oklahoma Minute.
Oklahoma received a Real ID extension through June 2017. And Oklahoma natives and country music
Northwest Association of Realtors is sponsoring a Backing the Blue fundraiser that will raise funds for Enid Police body cameras. The event will be Saturday, June 24th at 10 a.m. Contact them at 580-242-1670. And Tuesday, the Enid City Council approved preliminary hotel plans for downtown Enid. The Best Western Glow Hotel will be the first in the state and the first in the region of the United States. Oklahoma State Capitol building was completed on June 30, 1917. To celebrate, the governor has announced the following Oklahoma State Capitol Centennial events: a time capsule ceremony with the contents planned to be open in 100 years, commissioning a painting of the Capitol that will hang in the Capitol upon completion. An original state flag will fly at the Capitol for 2 weeks, and OETA will broadcast a special program on the Capitol building on Thursday, June 29th. And here's your weekly Did You Know fun fact. Oklahoma is comprised of 69,960 square miles. And on this day in history, in 1942, Congress formally recognizes and adopts the Pledge of Allegiance and includes it in the Federal Flag Code. And in 1944, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs the GI Bill. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to the round table.
I'll tell you what, Derek Silas is just a walking encyclopedia. He's got all these facts and stuff. We did our ETN team put together a flag disposal video, and I think over 10,000 people have seen this thing. It's just incredible. And we used a couple young men. Colonel Darrell Judy's two sons helped us out on the project, and it was just the proper way. With July 4th coming up, if you have a weathered or torn flag, we encourage you to bring it to the drop box that is in front of the City Administration Building. But anyway, I just can't believe 4th of July is here. So as the year goes quick, I mean, it seems like you're probably always at a commission meeting because there's so much pre-work. Does the year go quick?
It does go quickly. Well, it depends what's going on. Sometimes things seem like it takes a lot longer.
Sometimes can we move on?
But yeah, sometimes you want it to. But yeah, it does go pretty fast. It's hard to believe that half the year's already over.
Half the year is already over.
I thought that the other day. I thought, wow, I can't believe it's already June.
We're talking 4th.
Now it's almost over.
Yeah, 4th of July celebration. If you have pictures from a 4th of July celebration, graduation, anything that's taken place, picture of you at the Grand Canyon, you can send it to gme@enid.org, as you see on the screen right there. Send us your vacation pictures, and that's the address to send it to. Good Morning Enid, as in gme@enid.org. Well, Tammy, you're pretty plugged in the community with events and sponsoring or organizing events. And we have a guy named Kevin who does a great job for us over at the Event Center. Is there a favorite time of the year for you on events? Is it summertime or is it the fall?
No, it's really probably spring. Spring or fall, because it's not hot, first of all. And a lot of the things I do are outside. But I really kind of like spring because everybody's kind of coming out of hibernation and wanting to get back into the community again, because everybody kind of holds up while it's cold and you don't really see everybody much, and we don't have First Friday. And so then whenever spring comes and everybody kind of starts coming out again, it's kind of fun to see everybody again after the winter. So I kind of like spring.
Well, what's next for us this morning?
So next this morning with Enid Entertainment, we have Kevin.
Ton of stuff going on here at the Central National Bank Center. Come on down, see us, and get some tickets for any of these great events. Welcome back inside the Central National Bank Center. I'm the General Manager, Kevin Brisky, and a lot of exciting things going on here, including an announcement we made earlier this week. Comedian Rodney Carrington returning to the Central National Bank Center on November 10th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, $47.50. Very inexpensive entertainment. You don't want to miss it. He put on a great show last time he was here, has an all-new act, so you want to check it out, especially if you enjoyed it last time. That's just one of the many things exciting we have going on here in 2017. It all starts July 20th with Dancing with the Stars Live, Hot Summer Nights. huge cast of professional dancers, and then the celebrity guest, Rashad Jennings. You don't want to miss it. Tickets for that, $75, $49, and $39. We then move into August, where we have Oak Ridge Boys on August 4th, a great country legend of a group. Over 40 years of experience and have some great country music as a quartet. You don't want to miss that. That's Friday, August 4th. Tickets $69, $49, and $35. And then a show that's not on sale yet but is announced, our Holiday Classic on December 7th. That's going to be Mannheim Steamroller. A great show. Bring the family, friends, relatives, get your group together. Tickets for that go on sale July 21st. All that and more. We have about 4 more announcements coming up in the next month or so here, so stay tuned to cnbcenter.com for all the details. You don't want to miss any of the exciting entertainment coming up here at the Central National Bank Center in the rest of 2017. Until next time, we'll send it into the studio. Back to you guys.
Good job, Kevin. It looked like he finally woke up after all. We appreciate all that information. Enid is on the move. We're going to take a look at this video, and the doctor is in the house, and she will join us at the round table right after this.
What about if you're just starting, you're thinking about saving money?
Good morning, Enid. Thank you again for joining us at 7:41 on this second day of summer, Thursday, June 22nd. And if you're planning the day out, it's going to be a warm one. Swimming pool type day, that's for sure, or splash pad type day, 94 degrees. Well, at the round table this morning is Dr. Maya Bass. Dr. Bass, good morning. Thanks for joining us here. There was a resolution passed by Congress 23 years ago designating June as Men's Health Month. And the purpose of Men's Health Month is to heighten the awareness of preventable health problems and encourage early detection and treatment of disease among men and boys. So here we have at the table, or at the round table, Dr. Bass. So welcome. Welcome to the Good Morning Enid. And the commissioner has some questions for you that put you on the spot. So make sure you know everything, right?
Yeah, sounds great.
So what are some preventable measures that men can take to improve their health?
Yeah, number one, stop smoking. Right there, you do one big act and you can cut your risk for cardiovascular disease by 50% or more. You also cut your risk for cancer. The other thing people can do is work on their diet and exercise, making sure they're eating a healthy diet and getting 30 minutes of exercise at least 5 days a week. And see a doctor. Even if you're not sick, a wellness visit once a year really does help you get access to preventative measures to help with your health outcomes.
Dr. Bass, from time to time we hear things about so-and-so took a test or they went to a particular screening and they found out something was wrong. Or is there a difference between men and women then on the screenings, or what is the recommendation, I should say, for screenings for men?
Yeah, so there are different recommendations for women and men. For men, really, men need annual blood pressure and weight checks, and then depending on risk factors, starting at age 35, they should be getting their cholesterol and diabetes checks. Starting at age 50, they should be getting screened for colon cancer. And then starting at age 55, if they smoked for 30 years or more, they should be getting screened for lung cancer. And then starting at age 65, if they smoked or have a family history, they should be getting screened for aortic aneurysms.
And how do they screen for that?
Yeah, that one, it's an ultrasound, which is a nice straightforward test.
Okay.
So the top 3 causes of death in men are major cardiovascular diseases, cancer, and then unintentional injuries. Yeah. So what contributes to these top 3 causes of death among men?
Yeah, so one of the things I think that makes men a little bit more susceptible to these is that they just aren't accessing healthcare as much as women. They also are less likely to have health insurance. And the smoking, sedentary lifestyle, that not watching a lot of TV, not being active, and eating a poor diet, all of those kind of contribute to the cardiovascular disease. And then cancer, like not getting those screenings that we just talked about, can definitely increase that risk, as well as family history and lifestyle.
Dr. Bass, in preparation for the interview this morning, I was looking at some of the statistics, and according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, it says women are 100% more likely to visit a doctor for annual exams than men. That really,
100%.
that
100%.
100%. I thought, whoa, that's pretty off the chart, if you will. But I thought, why is that the case?
Yeah.
That statistic just kind of the wow factor hit me. So,
Yeah, I think.
are we invincible? Is that it?
I think you think so, for sure. But yeah, I mean, as women, we've kind of been taught our whole lives, you go in, you get that yearly checkup.
Okay.
And guys just weren't told that maybe, or just don't believe that they need that annual wellness visit, but they do. And maybe they do think that they're a little bit invincible and don't need the doctor unless something's wrong. But the other thing is the men are less likely to have health insurance. So that's a huge hurdle to get over, to get those annual wellness exams.
And you told me recently the increased number of patients that you have are
Men. Yeah. Yeah, our practice has women providers at this point. One of the last male providers had just left, and I got all his male patients. And so I definitely had a lot of research and making sure that I was doing everything as well for my patients as I could. So I got a lot of information on men's health from that.
Well, undoubtedly, they read that statistic and said, hey, I'm going to go find a doctor.
I hope so, yeah.
So in 1920, women lived an average of 1 year longer than men. Today, that number is up to 5. Why do you think that is?
So I think that a lot of the reasons that we're getting longer lifespans is because we figured out medical science has kind of helped to cure a lot of the diseases that used to have people dying early. And now we have all these things that you can access, these preventative measures, we have these health screenings, and women are accessing them, but men aren't. So I think that there's probably a little bit of effect with that, making men's lives a little bit shorter. They also have the effect of men, because of testosterone, because of their makeup, do have a little bit higher risk for things like cardiovascular disease and certain cancers.
Is there any way that you can kind of summarize some general steps that men need to take to live longer, live better lives? I mean, you already touched on, all right, you got to quit smoking, you got to quit, you got to leave the cinnamon rolls alone. You know, you're taking the fun out of everything.
Yeah.
So how would you summarize this?
Yeah, so it's definitely smoking, just stop. But the eating a healthy diet, so that means lots of lean meats, lots of vegetables. Stay away from the fried foods, from the processed foods, from the high sugar drinks.
It's getting depressing, you know?
Hey, there's lots of, vegetables are really fun, guys.
I'm going to start crying anytime now.
Get some exercise, go out, do something for at least a half an hour, 5 days a week. Stop just sitting in front of the TV, because that really does hurt your health outcomes. And come and see a doctor at least once a year, even if you're not sick, just for a wellness visit, to make sure that you're getting all those necessary screenings.
Okay, this is not on our list, but you're from Philadelphia. That's a foreign country, right? To the east, Pennsylvania, that area there. Would you say that there's a difference in health in, say, geographical locations in the United States? Florida, Colorado, Philadelphia, New Mexico, or whatever?
Yeah.
Do you think there is, based on your experiences?
Definitely. There's a big difference, just because, lifestyle here, where you have like a big farming community and you have a lot more changes in your weather than we do on the East Coast, that kind of adds to a difference. You also have just different bugs, basically. I mean, on the East Coast, we have Lyme disease. Like all summer, it's just Lyme disease everywhere. And you guys don't even have, you haven't had a case in the last 10 years, which is great. For me, at least. But
it's because of clean living here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just what you guys are used to, and your diets are a little bit different than East Coast diets, and activity levels are different. So that does add a little bit of change.
Commissioner, not to put you on the spot, but you're married.
Yes.
How does the husband? Is he part of this? Yes, I go to the doctor, or is he? Which category is he in?
He does not go to the doctor unless he's really, really, really sick. But I think he has the last few years been going for his wellness checkup. I think he does do that at least. But generally, no, he doesn't tend to go to the doctor often at all. You kind of have to make him. So when he'll, I can get through it. But he powers through that's his theory. He
Powers
powers
through.
through it.
I do have a lot of chief complaints from guys that is, my wife told me I had to come. That is why I'm here. And I'm like, great, you're here. We can work with that.
You know, I think there's a mindset in Oklahoma, and not to stereotype us, but as a kid growing up in a small part of town in Oklahoma, everybody worked hard, a lot of manual labor. And so there really wasn't time for exercise. You worked hard, and that was exercise.
Right.
So the mindset said, well, I got to do 30 minutes of exercise 5 days a week. Nah, you come haul hay all day, or you work in the weed harvest, or you plow, or you just go feed the cows and stuff like that. That was the exercise. So there's this built-in of just hard work should take care. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So.
Yeah, it definitely, if you do have a really manual job, that does add to your exercise that you're doing. I think as people in Enid aren't participating as much in harvest, or certain people don't do that and they have more sedentary jobs, that's, I think, where the issue is coming up.
Well, thank you for joining us all the way from Philadelphia to Enid, Oklahoma. To reach you, to contact your office, or what's a good number to call?
Yeah.
I think we can put that on the screen as well, or maybe we already have.
It's 233-2900, and that's our office and our clinic hours that we're open. And you don't need to have insurance. We have a sliding scale, so everybody's welcome.
And you're located out on 30th Street here in Enid, Oklahoma. At the round table this morning, Dr. Maya Bass. So, Dr. Bass, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Wealth
having
of
me,
information,
guys.
and we'll complete our show and go have our cinnamon roll, right? So, thank you again. Okay, I think we're going to talk a little bit about here in the city of Enid. You know, we've had some rains, but we still have phase 1 water conservation effort where you water on odd and even days. And we have a little sprinkler promo that we want to show you about making sure your sprinkler system is working right. And we'll see that right now.
And in case you missed it earlier, we have Derek Silas back with the Oklahoma Minute.
Northwest Oklahoma Association of Realtors is sponsoring a Backing the Blue fundraiser that will raise funds for Enid police body cameras. The event will be Saturday, June 24th at 10 a.m. And Tuesday, the Enid City Council approved preliminary hotel plans for downtown Enid. Oklahoma State Capitol Building was completed on June 30, 1917. To celebrate, the governor has announced several centennial events. And here's your weekly Did You Know fun fact in Oklahoma. Oklahoma is comprised of 69,960 square miles, making it the 20th largest state in the nation. And on this day in history, in 1942, Congress formally recognizes and adopts the Pledge of Allegiance and includes it in the federal flag code. And in 1944, U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt signs the GI Bill, an unprecedented act of legislation designed to compensate returning members of the armed forces, known as GIs, for their efforts in World War II. And that's the Oklahoma Minute. Back to the round table.
Thank you, Derek, very much. It's 7:53. If you're trying to get out the door before 8 o'clock, a few minutes to go. And again, if you're planning the wardrobe for today, it's going to be summer, 94 degrees, and we're holding steady around 67 degrees. If you have the opportunity to watch us live stream or watch us on cable here at 8 o'clock, we have a program we call Meet the Commissioner, and Commissioner Wilson has been part of that. Derwin Norwood Jr. is one of our newest commissioners, Ward 2, thank you. And so Derwin Norwood will be on Meet the Commissioner, and that's at 8 o'clock this morning. In case you missed the weekend forecast, so what's it look like for the Shakespeare and the park?
It's going to be beautiful. We have highs in the 80s this weekend, so it shouldn't be too bad. Low tomorrow is 61, high of 86. On Saturday, we're going to get the low of 63 with a high of only 83. And then on Sunday, it's a low of 61 and a high of 81. So all 3 days are going to be beautiful.
Very good. And in case you missed Enid Entertainment just a few moments ago, again, Kevin is still awake, and he's back with more information on the events coming to Enid, Oklahoma.
Welcome back inside the Central National Bank Center. Not often do you see the event center with a clean floor like this, but about a month away until we kick off our summer series here in July with Dancing with the Stars Hot Summer Nights, and that's going to be July 20th here at the Central National Bank Center. Tickets $75, $49, $39. If you're a fan of dancing, if you're a fan of the TV show, you definitely want to check it out. Don't want to miss this one. August 4th, Oak Ridge Boys right here at the Central National Bank Center. Great quartet of country music. Don't want to miss it. And then we just announced Rodney Carrington. Tickets go on sale Friday. That show is going to be November 10th. His second time in town. All new show, all new jokes. Make you laugh the entire time you're here. You don't want to miss that. That one's November 10th. And then we have announced our holiday show. That's going to be Mannheim Steamroller, December 7th. Tickets for that go on sale July 21st. That's just 4 shows we have announced so far for the rest of 2017. We got at least 4 more coming. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned for all the new announcements and information, cnbcenter.com. A lot going on here at the Central National Bank Center and more to come. Back to the studios.
Kevin, thank you very much. We have another special guest in the house, and we're going to look at this promo, and then we're going to introduce you to the cutest thing you've seen all day, right after this.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and this is Russell. Russell's looking for a new home. We have lots of pets looking for a new home. Come visit us at 1200 South 10th Street.
A very quick 30 minutes going this morning. It's 7:56, and I fail to say this from time to time, but we want to say thanks to AJ, to Dane, and also to Penn. They work behind the scenes for Good Morning Enid to be on live for you today. So I want to mention that little thank you. 249-4910 is the number to call, and Commissioner Wilson, who is our special guest?
Our special guest today is Bella Rose, and she is a Shepherd Dalmatian mix, and she is just about the cutest thing, like you said, you're probably going to see today.
Bella Rose. Charlotte, thank you for being here this morning. Commissioner, what does it take to adopt? There's a fee and there's a cost. And
Yeah, the cost to adopt covers the rabies shot and getting them spayed. It's about $95 to $115. Bella Rose, as you can see, is a very smart and playful little girl, and she knows basic commands, and she's already learning some stuff, and she's a very fast learner. So somebody needs to call the Animal Control Center today and adopt her, maybe.
Bella Rose, and she does a great job of tug of war. You notice that?
Yes, she seems very sweet.
So, well, 249-4910 is the number to call. Well, Commissioner, we have a minute to go, and we can sure focus on Bella Rose because we ought to find a home for Bella. Thank you for joining us, Commissioner, here at the round table today. What kind of update can you give? We've got just a few seconds to the folks about how are things going in the city of Enid.
Well, I think they're going okay. We just had some big news this week. We just approved the 30% plans for the new downtown hotel. So which will be a Best Western Glow. It'll be the first one like it in the state of Oklahoma. They don't have any other ones finished yet, so we'll be right at the beginning of that new concept. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And it's going to be right there with the convention center and the event center, so that's going to bring us a lot of conventions and conferences that we haven't been able to get yet because we need a hotel. It's kind of the third leg on the stool they've been saying. So that's also going to funnel a lot of revenue into our local businesses, which is always exciting when our businesses do well. So.
Very good. Well, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for joining us today. Charlotte, thank you. Bella Rose, we'll find a home for you. 249-4910. Derek, thank you as well. Make it a great day, everyone.